this episode, we have got Maureen Millward. I met Maureen at the At One Challenge, and then we first met on Skype or Google Hangout, one of them, for to test out my Cantonese talk. Wow, it seems like a long time ago. Not really that long. It was just April. And then we met in the Polyglot gathering very briefly, and then we've sort of stayed in touch since using Facebook Messenger and on the same group, and then we belong to kind of a few common Facebook groups. Yeah, it just did the. So that is how we met. And then, yeah, obviously you are an impressive polyglot. And so to get started, do you want to tell the audience and about something about yourself, your language learning history, and some language learning ideas that you are most passionate about that you want to spread to the world?
Well, my name is Maureen and I come from Scotland. I live in England now. I started language learning at school, although I went to a normal state school where languages are not taught very well. So although the languages appeared to be my best subject at school, I couldn't really speak once I'd finished school. So really it was when I went to college and then university before I started to gain a good level in foreign languages. And then after that, I went to work in a job where I was using my languages on a daily basis. And I used to go out to Spain and Italy for work quite regularly. And when I wasn't traveling to Spain and Italy, I was using my languages every day in the office and on the phone. So I was able to keep them up that way. And after I moved away from the city, I started to learn other languages that weren't required for work because I was doing a different job. So I started to learn other languages that interested me, such as Gaelic, because it was part of my family history, and other languages that I need just for traveling and not for work, such as Greek, Catalan, and most recently Mandarin. I prefer to use tutors, mainly italki tutors, because I feel like I make more progress if I have tutors because I need the speaking practice. And in the area I live, there's not really any opportunity for that kind of thing. And I work all week, so it's easier for me just to pay for tuition. And I'm usually using a textbook at the same time as having lessons, or sometimes I might not use a textbook if the tutor's given me a lot of work in between lessons. So that's how I go about it, really. I find it quite hard to do without a tutor unless it's a very easy language. But I much prefer being able to speak to people on Skype because it gives me the confidence as well.
Okay, cool. So what do you most like to share about in terms of your it seems that so you like italki and textbooks. So do you want to share how from your many hours on italki actually well, there are many, I think that's the whole point, there are many ways to pronounce it. It's like tomato something. So what is your current italki lesson structure? How much pre-work do you do? How much preparation and review do you do, and what is the routine? That is something that I'm quite interested in, and it's quite a lot of people have asked these questions on various groups.
Yeah, it is quite difficult because I want to maintain all my languages. For the fluent ones, the ones I don't really need to study anymore, I'm just having one conversation lesson per fortnight, which will be like Spanish, Italian, Portuguese. So I don't really do any work on them between lessons because I can already speak. So I just go on italki and I book a conversation session, usually just a community tutor because I'm not really having any kind of teaching anymore. And it's just to maintain my level. I'm almost at that stage with Catalan now. Catalan's coming along well quite quickly because it's so similar to Spanish. And so with Catalan, I'm having one lesson a week at least, sometimes two. And then I'm still maintaining Greek, which is once a week, once every 10 days at the moment. Norwegian once every 2 weeks, and Mandarin once every 10 days. So with Mandarin, Greek, Norwegian, and German also, those are the ones I'm having to do quite a bit of work in between lessons. German, I have a textbook. Norwegian is a different approach. We watch cartoons and I do that outside the lesson. Then we go through it together in the lesson, have general conversation as well, and then we talk about the cartoon episode. And I write notes on that as well and go through them with the tutor. So I'm getting the listening practice, something quite fun as well and different to do. Greek, I do have a textbook. And Mandarin, I'm not using any textbook because the tutor's providing me with everything. So that's working very well.
Ooh, so which one do you think has been the most effective for you so far?
I think the way the Mandarin one's being done, because what she does, she gives me it's like a Google spreadsheet, and she types it in using the Chinese characters, all the new vocabulary we're doing that day. And then it's in Pinyin, and then it's in English. And she creates a new tab for each lesson. So by the time I have a new lesson, I should have learned everything on the tab before. And that's how we're doing it. So we spend the first 15 minutes reviewing random vocabulary, and she'll ask me random questions that we've done before. And then we spend half an hour going through the new vocabulary for that day. So for me, that's working very well because I feel like she's putting the work into preparing all the lessons and I'm just having to learn it. I don't really have to do much other than learn what she's given me.
You repeat, so 30 minutes, it's easy for you to get a headphone?
Yeah, I've got a headphone. Okay. Oh no, I don't. I've got a new laptop. I don't know where to plug it in.
Okay, no worries. Just hear myself a little bit. So you said 30 minutes of the actual lesson and then some review. Could you break that down again?
Yes, we do 30 minutes of the new lesson and 15 minutes reviewing at the start. We reviewed the lesson before.
Okay. And then any sort of homework?
Just to review everything she's given me before we move on next time.
Okay. Yeah, just to add some spice to this YouTube video and podcast. Share something that you have learned recently in Mandarin, then you can review globally. if you are inspired.
Let me think. 我有两个猫。
我有两个猫。Good. 好。Okay. So just a mini Mandarin lesson for our listeners. 我 is to have. 我 is I. 有 is to have. 两个 or 两只 two, because in Chinese there is a count for objects, for person, for animals. Mao is meow, is a cat. Cool. Okay, so how long have you been learning Mandarin?
Just a few weeks.
So that is for the Ad1 challenge or just yourself?
No, just myself. I might do it for a future challenge.
Okay. So yeah, just to jumping topics a little bit. Tell us something more about Polyglot conference that you went to in New York, I think. And yeah, I just didn't have any much holidays left. So yeah, tell us something about a few highlights from, let's say, 5 highlights from your polyglot conference experience.
Well, I think the most exciting thing was that I got to meet Barry Farber, who is a well-known hyper polyglot. He's American and he's 85 years old. And I actually read his book years ago, and he was a last-minute addition to the conference. So he did a talk about his experiences learning languages, particularly after World War II. He was a journalist in Europe, and he was able to use his languages with refugees moving throughout Europe. So he talked to us about that, and then I got to meet him afterwards, and I took the book with me that I had, and he signed the book for me. So that was really good. The social events as well afterwards were really well organised. We had a trip to Rooftop Bar. We had a lunch out for the Add One Challenge people. We also had book stalls at the conference where we had discounts for the conference attendees. So that was really interesting. And there was a talk that I did like about African languages, because we don't get to hear so much about them. So there was a talk about African languages and how you can go about learning them on the internet. And as well as that, I really liked the talk that Benny Lewis did as well, about ways on how to use your languages to find work and different types of jobs you can do where you would be able to use your language skills. So I suppose those are the most memorable events of the conference for me.
Well, exactly 5.
I missed the first half day because I was traveling, so I wasn't there the full time. So I have to watch some of the videos when they go on YouTube.
So I'm particularly curious about. So, for example, did Barry give a talk? What was it? Did he give a talk, or was he just attending?
No, he gave a talk as well.
Yeah. What was the topic?
It was about learning languages and why it's an advantage to learn languages, and it's a kind of story, lots of little stories of his life learning languages and how he's used them. And he talked a lot about the stories about different refugees in different countries.
Oh yeah, as you mentioned. Okay,
really good. A lot of it's in his book as well.
Okay, cool. In terms of the Benny Lewis talk, can you give the audience some highlights about? So, what are the strategies that he suggested that we can sort of apply languages in our job?
A lot of jobs that he had to begin with, and the fact that he's taken some very low-paid jobs in the past just to be able to improve his language skills. So although the jobs have been low-paid, he's perhaps been in another country where he's been able to study for an exam, one of the official exams. So even though he's been low-paid, he still did the job so that he can practice these languages and improve them to a good level. And then he talked about all sorts of different jobs, like in the corporate world and the kind of areas that I've worked in, like finance, teaching. He talks about tourism and that sort of thing. And he went through all different options really of what you can do. He went through translation and interpreting and that kind of thing as well.
What did he do? Was it sort of like hostels, or I'm just wondering, among the minimum wage job?
Yes, jobs like that. Yeah, like in
hostels, in a shop, sort of thing.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, where he would be speaking different languages because you'd have different customers from different countries coming in. So you'd be getting to practice various languages in one day.
Yeah, I did actually think about just working in a hostel just to practice my language just sometimes. Yeah. Obviously, I've got a job Monday to Friday. Yeah. As well, but it's something that I may do during my gap year. Not so much for the money, but just for the experience. And so yeah, so in terms of the social events, any did, did much happen before and after the actual event? So for example, the rooftop, or was it during the weekend, or was it before, after? Anything,
It
any
was
sort of
in the weekend.
spontaneously?
After the conference finished, we had a trip to the rooftop bar. There were other events. I think there was a picnic before they started the conference, but I wasn't there then. And then afterwards, during the day, we had a lunch break where we had all the Add One Challenge people go for lunch
Mm,
together. So there were a couple of events before, but I wasn't there in time to go to them.
okay. And in terms of the venue, it is a theater, right?
Yeah.
Or what is it? Okay. So there were 400 people, 300 people.
Yeah, something like that, about 400, a
So you
little bit
just
less maybe.
similar to the polyglot gathering in a way.
Yes, about the same number, yeah.
Cool, cool. So, what do you, out of this polyglot conference, what actions have you been inspired to take, or are you going to take? That any sort of actionable tips that you got from the conference, if any, or
Um,
yeah.
well, I met quite a lot of interesting people, and it's made me think. I mean, I met a lot of Mandarin learners and people who are already fluent in Mandarin, and including Barry Farber. He learned Mandarin. It was one of his first foreign languages that he learned to a good level. It's just given me a bit of confidence with the Mandarin, because obviously it's really different to any other languages that I already know, and it will take more time than the European, especially the Romance languages that I know, to get to an intermediate level. But it's given me the confidence to see that there are a lot of other people who have achieved it, and it makes me more motivated to carry on.
Cool, cool. And then you stayed in from your Facebook update. So you stayed a few days after the
Yeah,
event. Is that
did
just
three
to
days
sort
or
of travel around a little bit?
after to just do some sightseeing.
Cool, cool. So next year will be in Greece, and I forgot the name of the city.
Yes, there's Thessaloniki, and then there's Berlin as usual. And a lot of the Americans wanted another conference in either America or Canada next year, so they're arranging one in Montreal.
Oh, okay. So that is the sort of sales organized one. I mean, what would that be called? The Montreal one.
I'm not sure, it's another conference, but I'm not sure yet. But they're looking at July for that. But it's not.
So polyglot gathering in May as usual, isn't it correct?
Mm-hmm.
Early May.
Mm-hmm.
You book the ticket already, and then polyglot conference in sort of, I forgot. I think they set a date as well, did they? Or not yet? For Greece.
Yes, it's October.
That's this year, and then there's in July there is in Canada. Well, there's something every few months now.
Yeah.
I think it's about sort of the limit. I mean,
Yeah.
flying around the world every couple of months is sort of kind of quite good, but beyond that will be a bit too much.
Mm-hmm.
I feel. So, in terms of your language learning strategies, so Greek, do you think you'll be? How's the Greek actually after L1 challenge?
It's still okay. I'm keeping up with it, but it is really difficult. So I don't feel like I make the same progress as I do with other languages. Um, I'm actually finding the Mandarin easier than the Greek, which I don't know if that's normal or not. But I think the thing is, I don't have any cognates for Greek or Mandarin because they're not like anything else I know. But with Mandarin, the words are really short, one or two syllables. In Greek, they're really long. And in Greek, the verbs, especially in the past tense, are really long. But that's not the case with Mandarin, but I'm not at that stage yet. But I know it's not the case with the verb conjugation. So that's the difficulty with Greek, is the fact I've not got any cognates, and the verbs especially in the past tense are really difficult.
Yeah, so recently I have been thinking more and more about mnemonics, especially because of my last chat with Anthony Metivier and his talks, and an hour later correspondence. So, for example, I was trying to learn from a Greek friend a sentence in Greek,
Yeah.
and then I was trying to use some mnemonics, and then it still sticks in my mind. It's
Yeah.
it's very powerful. Something that I sort of add to it is, if you come up with mnemonics which is saucy, then it is very, very difficult to forget. I find it even more powerful than the locust method, the memory palace.
Yeah.
That's been my experience, and that is sort of something that is one of my sort of internet product that I'm developing. And so so personally, I'm trying to start a few sort of inspired by the big names out there, like Benny Lewis, Ollie Richard, Future Simcoe. I'm also sort of starting my own various projects. And so personally, I don't really like learn one language at a time. Maybe the most effective way, but it's not the most fun way for me. I mean, life is too short. I don't care about effectiveness. I want fun. So hence I've started the ad-free challenge. So the idea is just to, I feel that at the end of the day, most polyglots who can speak at least 3 or 4 languages, they do not learn one language at a time. Yes, most of them learn one language at a time at the beginning, but not sort of towards the.
I never have just learned one at a time.
It's just it's to me it's something that I've shared before. It's like someone who likes to play games on mobile phone, just telling them, hey, if you want to get good at Candy Crush, then you need to be playing Candy Crush all day. But where's the fun in that? Yeah. Maybe spend more time playing Candy Crush and then other time playing Clash of Clans. I don't want you to play any of those games. Yeah, to me, it's the fun. But then I do feel that it is good to have one or two focus. Ideally, one focus and then sort of a few side one. And then, so I'm also started group, and then now starting to find my partners for this project on Learn Greek Challenge. Learning us trying to sort of partner with some Greek speakers and some language bloggers and language products vendors. That's sort of my game. Actually, most of my last couple of months has been trying to focus on my non-language goals. So I feel that, I feel months of languages and then a few months of non-languages. Otherwise, I feel that my life is not sort of going in exactly the right direction that I want. For example, during the @ONE challenge, when I was doing Polish and Korean, I was trying to clock in like over at least an hour a day, and then beside my work and then that, I couldn't do anything else. It just, the time is a very limited commodity. So just been experimenting with that, and then now that some of them has slowly ticking off, and then I can now sort of go back to my language passion, which is obviously why I do all this, just to sort of give myself the financial freedom to set up the mechanisms for financial freedom, such that I can sort of travel the world more. For example, one of my 9 business side projects, 9 of them, and then I keep track of them in a spreadsheet, otherwise I can't remember them myself, is to partner with, I'm in discussion with several big names to start some polyglot workshop similar to the one by Richard, Simcoe, and Ollie and Alex, but that will be in the corporate world.
Right.
So I was thinking that no matter how many ebooks I sell, no matter how many podcast sponsors I have, it will not fit a corporate training course. So that is sort of my latest business experiment.
Where would you be planning to do them? Where would you be planning to do those workshops?
Well, days will be. It will not be. It will not be most. I will just be there to sort of as the salesperson for this stuff, and then I'll mostly be working with partners who are bigger names than me and who are more accomplished polyglots than me. But then basically, I've always been in the finance industry.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure you've had some exposure to it as well. So mostly the main financial centers, the main sort of the presence of the big banks. So
Yeah, I've
so
always worked in finance as well. That was my first job after I graduated. So I ended up becoming an accountant, really because of my languages, because I got taken on as like a new graduate within a international finance department, but it was because of my languages. I'd never worked in finance before. And they gave me a maths test, which I passed. And then I started doing professional accountancy qualifications as well. So I've stayed in finance ever since.
yeah, I mean, so I think you are sort of well, I'm in corporate finance, and I think you are. Are you in corporate finance as well, or different sort
Yes.
of?
Yes.
Okay, the same thing. Okay, yeah, exactly the same thing. So yeah, so I'm trying to. I've been. I don't know, just going to this conference and setting up interviews with big names. With well-known polyglots, sort of give me the social confidence to actually go out and network more with various senior managers in various branches of various banks, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And then so sort of yeah, something that I've learned is that sometimes it's just start start with something and take actions and keep on taking actions, and then one day we can connect the dots.
Yeah.
We can get, yeah, it's not it's really something that I feel that I witnessed a big transformation in my own life in the last few months. For example, I feel that trying to push myself to give the talk at the polyglot gathering was really a big confident boost.
Yeah.
So yeah, to the listeners out there, if you want to do something, just go for it. Even though it may be quite small at the beginning, and then it will snowball, and then it will become much better.
Mm-hmm.
So mindful that you have got an I lesson in 10 minutes. So
Yeah.
you want to tell us about your blogs and your various internet presence, and then I'll then type it here as well. Then
I've just set up a new Facebook page called Language Learning Journey, which is the same name as the blog that I have. The blog is about both the language projects that I work on and places I travel to and experiences of traveling and using languages at the same time. So there's quite a variety on there because I do travel to quite a lot of different places. And it does include links to the videos I've done after the various challenges that I've done in the past.
Cool. So search for language learning journey on Facebook and Google. Then we can find Maureen. Are you happy for people to contact you by email, by Facebook, by Twitter, or
yes,
what is
on Facebook, Language Learning Journey, I can be contacted on there and on the blog. The blog address is languagelearningjourney.wordpress.com.
yeah, it's obviously with no space. But just two for easier reading, and then cool. So, what would be the last one or two ideas that you want to share to inspire people to learn more languages and to keep on learning languages and
I think
to make the world a better place? Yeah.
As possible. What I tend to do is find material that I'm interested in. So whether it's watching programs that are the type of programs I like, or a magazine, or articles about topics I'm interested in, that makes me more motivated to do studying, because I'm doing something that I like. I'm not focusing on just doing a lot of grammar exercises that might make me feel bored. To make sure that you have variety and find materials on subjects you're interested in, even music, if you like music, and you can listen to music in other languages. And on YouTube, you can find some videos with the lyrics on there as well. So that helps. So it depends on what
Okay.
you're interested in, really.
And you want to give one concrete example before we end? So let's say Greek. Since you've learned it for at least 3 months.
Yes.
So what
Well,
topic did
as
you
an
like?
example, I like traveling, so I would look in on Greek websites for articles about traveling to various places, and that's something I would be interested to read. Often when I go to other countries, I'll buy travel magazines um, in the other languages because I know I'll definitely read them.
Okay, it's the last question. In terms of Greek music, do you have a favorite singer, or if any, or any
I
song?
haven't actually listened to any Greek music. It's more Brazilian music I listen to. Uh,
Okay.
for Greek, no, I'm not sure actually. I'm not a huge music fan. I know that a lot of people are, and I do use it from time to time, but it's not the main source of practice that I would get. I would look at other things before I would look at music.
Okay, so thank you very much for your time. And then message from our sponsor, bensonhall.com, where if you go there, you can sign up to our mailing list to get goodies on the most effective method to link audio method to learn languages, including French, German, Spanish, Greek, etc. And then obviously there's also links to the podcast, to the YouTube videos, to my various many other projects. So please click like on this video, and please write me a lovely comment on iTunes. And until then, live with passion and learn languages. Bye.